Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I want to thank you guys so much for subscribing to me. I cannot believe I have finally reached 1,000 subscribers. I'm definitely going to be doing a giveaway soon. So stay tuned for that. In this video, I'll be showing you guys a comparison between Cricut Design Space and Silhouette Studio. So if you watch any of my previous videos, I've always had a Cricut. So I switched to Silhouette some months ago. I want to say maybe 5-6 months ago. And I definitely love it more than a Cricut Design Space. But if you are thinking about transitioning and you're kind of worried because the tools may be different, I'm here to show you a comparison between the two. So here, I want to show you first how to upload images. We're going to start with Cricut Design Space. Yes, I'm still able to use Cricut Design Space. I just am not able to cut anything out. So I can print things if I want to, which I don't a lot, just maybe a few things. But here I'm just showing you an example of all the images that Cricut provides. Silhouette, on the other hand, does not do the same thing. So if you have a Cricut Design Space access where you pay, I think it was when I was paying for it, it was $10 a month. I know there's been a lot going on with Cricut lately, so I'm not sure if the price is the same, if you're getting the same benefits. But I know when I had Cricut Design Space, I was paying $9.99 a month to get all of these images for free. But on the Silhouette, there are no options to get those same designs. So here you can see my library of my projects that I work on. And then here are some tabs to kind of show you where things will be placed. And if you go into recent downloads, then you can see the new designs that they will give you, the free ones, which I don't really use their designs. I rarely use Cricut designs, and I definitely don't use anything from Silhouette. I pretty much make my own, or I buy designs from Etsy or Google search things. I may go on there to look for something in particular, like maybe a shape, but Silhouette does offer images for purchase as well as fonts. So if you do decide to get it, you can definitely search through here. Especially for beginners, it is fairly easy to learn if you just use images that are provided for you that you can maybe purchase for 99 cents if you're beginning out. So I like to create my own. I'm just a creative spirit, and I just love to be able to put things together, do my own fonts, and everything like that. So here is the software for the Silhouette. So you can see that you can use it for your Mac computers. There's 2 different versions for the Windows. I have the Windows 32 just because when I had 64, it was constantly closing out. So if you are having that issue, that might be why. And there are 3 different versions for the Silhouette, and you do have to pay to upgrade. I'm going to show you a site where you can get it for cheap. But on here, sorry, this coupon thing pop-up came up. But if you see here, it'll tell you that if you do not have a paid edition, you cannot just jump to the business edition, which is what I have. You have to pay for one software and then upgrade and pay for another one. So I know that does suck, but in a way it does make sense to have some features instead of getting them all at once. I mean, they could just lump it all together, to be honest, but if you choose to go this route, you are paying separate prices for these different programs and different features. So it does come with benefits because the business edition, you're able to save your project as SVGs, PNGs, things that will benefit you in the long run. Here's the website, swingdesign.com. They actually sell the Cameo, they sell the Cricut, they do bundles with vinyl and everything. And I wish I would have known about this website before I purchased mine from Michaels, because if I would have, I would have gone through this so that I can get all of these great things with it. I am no way affiliated with this company. I just came across it when I was looking for discount codes for the business edition. It just happened to pop up doing a Google search, and I was like, oh my god. It's a really good site. I typed in Studio up in the search bar, and here you will see how the prices are discounted. So, and it's definitely 100% legit. It will email you a access code to upgrade your studio. So that's exactly what I did, and then it will give you a free card for some fonts that they offer. But this site is definitely great. So if you're looking to purchase a new machine, whether it be Cricut or Silhouette Studio, this is a good website to do that through. So now we're going to go back into the actual design area. As you can see, you're working within the mat, which is what I also like. So you can see how big an image can be. You can adjust it. You can turn the grid on to see exactly where your vinyl will be laid or your image. And you can change the colors to, appeal to your eyes down at the bottom here. So whatever color works for you to be able to see whatever you have within that space is great. Most of the time I do have my grid off unless I need to place my vinyl in certain areas on the mat and I know exactly where to place it. Here is your registration marks. So this is good for print then cut. Honestly, print and cut has not been working that great for me. It hasn't, and it's very aggravating because I feel like my machine does not read this little square over here on the left side. It does not read it sometimes. I think I've only got it to work a couple times and it did not even cut my image correctly. So I mainly use clear water slide for my tumblers, which is why I haven't been posting a lot lately. I've been working really hard on getting new designs out for my cups and my Etsy shop, which I'll have below in the description box, but it's very frustrating. And here you can adjust your setup. You can switch it to not having a mat, which I'm pretty sure everybody knows at this point that Silhouette has an option to not have a mat, and I know the new Cricut has an option as well. And then you can adjust your paper size. So if you want to see how big an image should be or can be on a paper that you're printing out, it's better to go to letter. And then you can also have on the print border so that you know how far you can take an image or several images that you can fit onto your sheet. And we will discuss Cricut and their limitations once we upload our image. But I love this feature as well because you can definitely see how big your paper is and what you can fit on there. So there's a lot of options on here. You can customize how big your paper is. It can be 12 by 24 because that's usually how big our rolls of vinyl are that you can kind of feed through. But here we're going to start off by uploading an image. Okay, here you just want to make sure you select complex, and then it's a PNG file, so it's good to go. You don't have to clear any of the background out. And then we want to click on print then cut image. So as you see here, immediately when it's uploaded, it's giving you this kind of a red flag to let you know, like, hey, you cannot print this out. It is too big. Which, it is really big, even bigger than a normal piece of paper, but it does give you these limitations of how big your image can be. It was very frustrating, a lot of paper wasted, and I feel like, even though I don't have a Cricut anymore, I feel like it's a feature that they definitely should change. There's two different ways to upload an image or insert an image into Silhouette. And sorry, it was acting a little weird. I don't know what the issue was. But you can drag your image right into the actual studio, or you can just go to upload file and it would just open up a new tab with that image. So here the image is really big, so I went ahead and just kind of sized it down so that I can see the little white boxes in the corner to resize it myself. And as you see here, it does fit within that paper. So I'm going to change it to letter and then adjust it again so that you can see. And it's within the print border. So this image would definitely print larger than the image that you will get in Cricut Design Space. So even if you are wanting to work with your Cricut machine, you can definitely use the print feature in Silhouette Studio. The basic is free. So here, if you were using it to cut out, the red is just showing you exactly the area that it will cut. So we will talk about the whole, send area in Silhouette Studio in another video. This video is just going to show you the basics between the two the two design spaces. So here I'm just going to readjust the size of this. So now I'm getting it down that red flag is no longer there anymore, or that triangle is no longer there because it's within the cut size. Okay, so now I'm just going to re-upload Lola Bunny so I can show you the color, how you can remove the color, contour it, do all of that. So now I'm just going to go through and use the magic wand to remove all the color around the image so that it's just an outline of her. And then I'm going to show you guys how to contour it and then add color back into the image. I do have a video on doing this already if you want more details, but I'm just going to show a brief example or comparison between Cricut and Silhouette. I do love this feature. It's definitely easier to do versus deleting each color one by one and uploading the image. I did that in the beginning before I knew how well to use Cricut. It was in the very beginning when I was just only making like t-shirts and things like that. But this way it's definitely a lot faster to just remove the color altogether and then add it back within the design space. And then you'll be able to see the way that you can do it in Silhouette Studio as well. So now that she's all cleaned up, you do, of course, want to make sure that it's saved as a cut image. That is the point of us removing the color. So just in case you want to layer, make it, you know, an actual SVG. I know a lot of people do layers when they're doing cups, when they're doing t-shirts. So if you're not doing an actual like sublimation, which is what the first image it would be great for, or iron on and something like that. If you're printing something out and then just kind of iron it on there, then the first image is good for that. But then if you're trying to layer, then it's great to just go ahead and have an outline and then use the feature to contour to layer those different colors. So what I did first was I just duplicated that same image and then go into contour. And again, I do have a video, a couple of videos on contour. I have a beginner's guide or tips and tricks for anyone just beginning Cricut, which there are new features added to Cricut since I did the video. The text is different. They have offset now, so those are two things that were not included in the video because I made it so long ago. But here, the contour was definitely acting a little funny. Like I just feel like it was running a little slow. But you do, of course, want to make sure everything is hidden. And then you can select whatever area of her, of the character that you want, that you would like to do first. So if you wanted to do her body first, do her shirt, her shorts, her hair bow, her eyes, whatever you want to do first, you would want that to be highlighted. So I was sitting over here trying to, you know, wait for it to kind of upload, or I guess, I don't know, figure it out, because I don't know what was going on in this right panel, but everything wasn't showing up. You can definitely either click on the right panel or you can click on the actual character to hide or unhide whatever you want to show. But you do want to make sure, if you're contouring, that you select something that's within the same color. So if you wanted to make sure her body was all together, you want to make sure you select her legs, her arms, her face, her stomach, everything. The same here, I'm going to do her shorts and her hair bow because they're the same color. So those images will cut together and, you know, be together. Sorry guys, I literally just cut out probably like 4 minutes of my video because the contour portion was taking forever to load. I don't know what was going on with that, but that was, you know, I was kind of used to it with Cricut Design Space. It was always running slow for some reason, and I don't even have much going on. But here you can see I'm able to change the color to whatever color I want it to be. And it's just for the design space purposes, because of course it can be whatever color you put on the mat to cut out. You can make her shorts whatever color you want it to be, but I just wanted to do the same exact thing, or same exact color that her shorts were already. So I went ahead and duplicated it again just to show you another example of how you can layer colors within an image. So here I'm just going to do her body, and hopefully the contour will act a little bit faster than it did previously. So I went ahead and hit her shorts. Sorry, not her body. I ended up just doing her shirt, because I feel like if I were to select her body on here, then it was not going to act fast enough. And then I hid her bow, so just her shirt was showing. And then I'm just going to change the color and trying to find something a little similar to the shirt that she has on already. So I really do like the advanced portion of the colors here, how you have the option to kind of go through color palettes and everything. Silhouette Studio does not have that feature, but I'll show you what they have instead. But I do wish they also had this one in addition to what they already have, just because if I wanted it to be another shade, I shouldn't have to use an eyedropper, but I'll show you exactly what I mean. And then Silhouette Studio does it sometimes, so I'll just exit out and then click cancel. I don't know why it does that. I find both programs both have features that are very annoying, and not just with anything, whether it's Photoshop, Adobe, Microsoft, it does not matter. Every program has some feature that is very aggravating, or it will shut down on you for whatever reason, and it just is what it is. I still prefer Studio over Design Space any day. But here I am doing the trace feature, trace by color. So I'm selecting all areas, so it picks up the bow, and then I'm able to trace and detach. So here, if you wanted to move them separately, you could, or if you wanted to, group them together so that they are together as one piece instead of having them float around, especially the hair bows, because they're so little that you could just easily lose them within the project. But here you can just, I zoomed in, and then you hold down your shift key and then select everything at once, and then you can right click and group it together to where you can now move everything at one time. So I'm going to show you the trace by color feature again. And then here I'm going to do her body. So you want to make sure that you select all areas, which will make it a lot faster versus clicking on each area. And then you want to trace and detach. So when you trace and detach, it puts everything as individual pieces. So again, if you want it all to be together, you just have to hold down the shift key and click everything, and then right click and select group. So you here you can see that part of her nose and her eyebrow is attached, but you can just go to trace by color and then separate those. But it's now creating that outline that I did in Silhouette Studio without doing the contour, and it is a lot faster to do it this way as well. So it's better to use images that do have that black outline. It makes it a lot faster to have something that looks the same way that this one does. So I just want to show you guys what it looks like once it goes to print. It actually gives you a preview, which I love, because it'll show you exactly what it will look like. And if you accidentally have something that's off the page and everything, you'll be able to see that as well. Even though you do have a border, that sometimes it is, easy to forget or overlook. So once you go to your preview, you can see that her arm is sticking way off the page. So that will be something that you'll be able to adjust before it actually goes to print. So now I'm going to show you guys what it looks like to print through Cricut Design Space. Some of you probably already know this, but it does give you this black border around your image. Absolutely hate it because it makes you waste a lot of paper. But they use that border in order for you to be able to have your image cut out. So they read that. It's kind of how the Silhouette Studio has the registration marks. It's just like a small square at the top, which is something that Cricut Design Space should look into instead of this box. But they use that to cut around the image. But it's literally one, a waste of ink, and two, a waste of paper. So, so here in the layers panel, I just want to show you guys how you can hide something within your design space. You just click on the eye and it's gone, so that you have more space to work on other things if you wanted to add anything. And then I'll show you the layers panel as well here in Silhouette Studio. It's kind of hidden. It's not like it's on the side panel like you would be able to see in Cricut Design Space. You will have to go up into panels and then click on layers, and then you will see it here on the right side. So if you click on the eyeballs, again, you will be able to hide those if you want to work on something else. And then if you wanted to add a layer and then move pieces within another layer into that layer, you can do that as well, and to just hide that one particular thing. So I'll show you here how to add a new layer and then also change the name. So I'm going to show you guys how you can change something to be the same exact color by using the dropper tool up in this color panel. There are other advanced options for colors. On the right panel, you'll see a palette. So it's a third one down icon tool that you can use, and it'll give you advanced options to select more colors. But this is just like a quick toolbar up here at the top, and this dropper here will show you, or you can use this to change it to whatever color that is in your studio. Here we can go ahead and start the text portion of the video, and I will show you guys the difference between them both. So I'm going to start by inserting some text, and here you can see it doesn't give you any color. It's literally just an outline of the text. It starts off with the very first option of text or of the font that they have, and then the red is literally just the outline. So we're going to go ahead and change this color, and here you can see I selected the color, but it didn't change. So you have to make sure that it is highlighted. Whatever portion of the word that you want to be a particular color, you have to make sure that's highlighted. I have a Tumblr. I do a CoComelon Tumblr, which you guys can check out, my Etsy shop, where I do, the child's name in a rainbow of colors. So it can start off at red, orange, yellow, like each letter of their name is a different color. So I do love that feature, which I know you can do in Cricut Design Space as well. But I believe you have to ungroup it in order to do it that way. But here you'll just highlight, and then over here in this text box you can select any font and go through them just to see what they look like. So I'll show you in Cricut Design Space what you can do with the text, but here you have an actual box where you can just kind of skim through, and it's faster to select the font. And sometimes I feel like we may not know exactly what we want. We may be looking for a cursive or a script, but there are so many texts that it's hard sometimes to select one. So here I went with Sweet Donut. I love this font, I really do. And I do have the option in Silhouette Studio to make sure that my spelling is correct. I do love that feature as well, because it's easy to misspell something, not even on purpose, but just because you're working fast, you may overlook it. I've had that happen before with a cup I was doing that I had no idea that I was missing a letter. But here you can see I'm spelling design, and it is highlighted blue underneath, and it reminds me of Microsoft Word because it'll definitely highlight red underneath the word that is misspelled. So what you can do is you can right click it and then go up into spelling, and then it'll give you all these options. And then if you go into advanced, it will show you languages. So if you wanted it to be Spanish, anything like that, you will be able to have those options. So you just want to click replace, and then it automatically goes into the right spelling of the word. So now I'm going to exit out of here, and then I need to make my page setup a little bit bigger, make this word a little bigger so that you guys can see it. Let's change this back to my auto, and then get rid of this print border. And one thing I do not like about the matte on here is the fact that it's white. Like, I wish it was optional to change the colors that you can change within Cricut Design Space, because if I wanted my text to be white, if an image is white, it will blend right in. So if I didn't have that cut around the word, it's gone. Like, you can no longer see it. So if I go into send, of course you can send it on the grid, which is still a little blurry, but when you go to send it through your machine, you will be able to see it. But it's just a matter of actually working with it within your space or the studio that you cannot see it. So here, everything always automatically goes to cut the edge of the design. So you always want it to just be cut, because it'll just have a thin border around it, and that's exactly what you want it to look like. So we're going to go back through and make sure that we weld this these letters together so that they're not cutting through each other. That was, an issue I used to have with Cricut. But I know that they recently changed their font, which I'm really shocked, to be honest. I didn't know that until today while I was doing this video that it changed. So here, it's just fairly easy. I'm going to remove the cut, and then, or at the cutback, sorry. And then so that you can see the weld. So when you right click it, you want to go to weld, and then you also want to make it a compound path, because it's welded, but then some things were not grouped together anymore. So you just want to make sure that it's a compound path, and then now it's no longer to be being able to be edited as an actual font, because it's a path now. So, but you can still, of course, resize it and all that, and then now if you send it through your machine, it will cut everything together as one piece. So you can see here that, of course, it's going to look different. It doesn't have that red border around it. It automatically goes to the color black when you're typing, and it does not give you the option to spell check at all. So here I'm going to change designing to the same font. And again, if you have the Cricut Access, I believe these fonts are free. I saw somebody say something the other day in the Facebook group that I'm in, and she said that the fonts weren't free. I'm not sure how accurate that is because I don't use it. But here you can see, as I'm going through the fonts to select, it's very tedious. Like, I can click on the font and then change it, click on the font and then change it, and I'm constantly having to go back to that same box to do it, versus having a box on the side in Studio to kind of like skim through fast enough. So here I just went back to my sweet donut, and I'm very shocked. I'm not gonna lie. When I was on here, I was like, wait, they are now doing the font, the cursive font together. I was like, wait, let me try this again. Let me try another font. Maybe it's just the font. I was really like blown away. I'm not gonna lie, because that was something that I hated. You have to ungroup the word, push the word together. I definitely talked about that in the previous video when I'm talking about tips and tricks. And I had no idea that they changed this, and I think that's great. because it's very tedious to ungroup a whole word, squeeze every word together, group it back together, weld it, make sure that it actually looks like a cursive handwriting versus the way it was before. So if you're not sure what I'm talking about, I do have a video. I will make sure that it's inserted at the end of here so that you can see some more tips and tricks with the Cricut design. But yeah, I was really surprised that they actually changed this. But now that we have our word, we can talk about offset. I do really like offset. It's one of my favorite features. I probably use it all the time, like legit all the time, for my water slides, for give the fonts kind of like a highlight. I will show you that in Silhouette Studio when I'm talking about the water slides, but here you can change the distance, like you can change how far away the actual background of the font will be. This one was a little tricky, but I guess it does have the internal feature that's what Studio does. Like you can have an offset inside. I don't really know what that would be used for. I've never used the internal. I don't know, but usually it's nice to just have like a thin layer around it. Some people like it to be thicker. I do like it to be to where it's kind of like just a shadow. Like I don't want it to be too much behind the word. And I love offset. It's definitely great. Yeah, I really like it. And I'm feeling these colors together too. It's kind of making me think about a new design or something. But here I'm going to show you the offset feature as well. On here, it'll show us both the internal and then the actual, outside of the offsets. So here again, you're adjusting it all the way down, or a little down to where you can see the background. And here, if you go all the way down, it's still there. It's just behind the word. So I want to show you what this looks like with an image, because I do this a lot, with water slide and vinyl, and it's very helpful. So if you are used to using water slide, here I was just showing how you do have to make sure that this is grouped together. In Design Space, you did not. Like I looked and it was also grouped together. Here, you definitely need to make sure everything is highlighted and grouped if you're going to cut it out, because I don't know why it would do it as individual letters or separate. It doesn't make any sense. But okay, so here I'm going to create an offset for Jack and Sally, and I'm just showing this if any Tumblr maker is watching out there, or I mean you might be able to use this for a shirt, like a HTV type of thing. I do have a video coming up where you can use the scissor glitter HTV to sublimate on, so this is a good example for that as well. So if you offset an image and then you make sure that the distance is all the way down, it will just be literally an outline of that image. So let's say I'm doing a Tumblr and the background is black. We all know clear water slide, or Tumblr makers know that you have to have a white background for a clear water slide. So you will use the offset and make sure that it's white, and then you can put the clear on top. So it's fairly easy. I'm going to be doing more Tumblr videos and showing these things. I'm really excited to do this stuff, and hope you guys will tune in to see these things. But this is a good feature for that. And also, of course, if you are doing HTV. So the erase tool, this is something that I always wanted in Cricut Design Space, because if you forgot in the beginning when you're uploading a video to erase something, you will have to do it all over again. I hated it. So I believe that this feature is the bomb. It really is. You can delete, you can upload anything, delete, like, erase anything. I just love it. But I sometimes use Photoshop too, so it's one of those features that I just feel like should be a requirement. Like no one wants to upload a image 300 times because they're forgetting to erase certain pieces. Like it's really annoying. Okay, so I want to show you guys the slice feature. It was definitely one of my favorite things to use on here. So you want to make sure you grab a shape, and then you want to make sure that it is the same length and width of the area that you want to slice through. Again, I do have a video that's more in detail about slice, but here I just want to show a comparison. And here is just going to basically slice them down the middle. And of course I still have a little bit of jack on here. It wasn't really even, but you get the point. And it just literally used to be one of my favorite features in order to you know, slice things. But I mainly would use slice to crop things out. But on here you can crop without having to slice. But I'm going to show you guys this knife tool in case you do want to slice something up or split it. And it has all these options on how to cut it with the knife. There's so many different things. But here you just want to make sure that the knife is directly above or across, wherever you want it to be. And then I'm just going to redo this because it's showing him a little bit. And move it over some. But yeah, I do like this tool as well. So you just want to click and then hold your shift key down and then click again with your mouse, and then you should be able to remove it or separate them. So you can use your knife tool for anything. You can slice through text, through anything. So I do love this feature as well. I will go more into detail about Silhouette Studio in a separate video. I just wanted to use this video to show comparison for anybody that wants to. Oh, and there, sorry, I was just showing you guys all the shapes that they have on here. But I just wanted to show you guys a comparison between the basic tools that Cricut Design Space has. So here I'm going to do the same thing that I did in Design Space with the square, and then just kind of crop out the bottom of her. If you didn't want to use the slice tool, you can always do this as well. So here you just want to make sure your modified panel is open, and then you select subtract. Yes, there is a crop option, but it doesn't do the same thing. It's more so for like a large area. You can still use the rectangle option and then cover the area, and then it'll crop what is around it. So the subtract option is something that I use sometimes as well. So it's just, you know, you can still use your knife or the box, or, you know, whatever part of an image that you want to do all at once versus just using the knife to slice something through is good. Like if you had a whole image and you want to get rid of the background, you just cover the background with like a square or a circle or something like that, and then select subtract, and it will do the same thing. So Cricut doesn't really have as many features on the toolbar or anything as Studio does. I'm sure a lot of people watching this video can see that or already know that before watching, possibly. Even if you go up to, like, you know, the file or the view, there's not too many options up there. You're able to open up a separate window if you want. It's kind of the same thing as opening up a separate tab within Silhouette Studio, because you can open up so many of them and work on different projects at one time. But this one opens up a whole new window, if that's what you want it to do. So the view option gives you the option to reload or force reload if something is not moving fast enough, or if you were trying to download a font and insert it. You can always download a font, for free, and it won't automatically be in there, and you would just go to force reload in order for that to work. So here I'm just going to save this and show you guys where it saves. Once it's saved, you can just go into my project and it should be the first one listed there. So we'll do that, and then I can show you what it looks like when you save it here. So here you can go to save as, you can do the hard drive or the library. If you do the hard drive, that means you're saving it to your actual desktop, or whatever file you want to save it to, or a folder. So here you can do SVG, PNG, JPEG, any of these options, because I have business edition. So I'm able to save it to wherever area on the computer I want to. You can still do that with basic, but you cannot save it as an SVG or PNG. So here I just want to save it to my library. And you can see multiple of the same things on here, same name, because Silhouette, which I love, even though I need to go through here and delete some of the same things, it will auto-save as you are working on it. So let's say your computer closes, your battery, power, or the studio itself sometimes will just shut down. It will automatically save, your spot where you were. It may not be 100% sometimes, it may be a little off by like maybe a last move you did or something. But for the most part, it will definitely save your work. So that is it, you guys. Thank you so much for watching my video. If you have not subscribed, you should do so. I'm going to be doing a giveaway because I'm so happy and so grateful to finally be getting monetized. I've been doing YouTube for a year now, and I'm so grateful to finally be at 1,000 subscribers. So I'm going to put my social media accounts. If you could give me a follow, that would be greatly appreciated. My TikTok, my Instagram, my business Instagram, and then you can check out my Etsy account. If there's anything that you guys have any questions on or want to see a video on, please comment below and let me know. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye. All those are auto saves, and I just need to go through and clean up my library a little bit.